Hi there, welcome to the Fierce Factor podcast. I'm your host, Kaylee Lindholm. And I think it's time for us women to shift the conversation in business and step into our feminine leadership to do the most iconic work the aesthetic industry has ever seen. Each week, I'll be bringing a powerful dose of strategy, sarcasm, solutions, and sass that will rev up your creativity and ignite your brilliance as you link arms with me along our shared path of personal and professional growth in 20 minutes or less. Let's go. Hello, leader. Welcome back to the Fierce Factor podcast. It's your host, Kaylee here, and you are tuning in to episode number 268. I can hardly believe that when this podcast launches, we will be officially kicking off the month of June and summer. Wow. The final month of the first half of the year. And spring has been such a powerful time for me in business. It's a critical time to reflect on progress toward annual goals and to develop a strategy to pivot into Q4. Because like I always say, if you want to be leading in your business and not just reacting to it, we have to be building the business of the future today. And I shared some thoughts with you last week about what success is going to look like in this new era. It's truly a time for doubling down on building trust with our team, trust with our market, and trust with our highest, most valued, loyal customers. So I wanted to take some time today to talk about why trust is so critical and how having a brand people trust should be the cornerstone of your marketing strategy in your business. Building a brand that people trust is the absolute foundation for sustainable success. And in a world overflowing with options, your reputation and authenticity really become your most valuable asset. And when clients believe in your integrity and value what you stand for, they're not just buying your product or service, they're investing in you as a leader. And that's why trust opens the door to deeper relationships, loyal customers, and word of mouth growth that, trust me, no algorithm or flashy campaign can buy you. And without trust, everything else is just noise. That's why cultivating a genuine, trustworthy brand, it's not optional. It is the strategic core that determines whether your business will thrive long-term or fade into the background eventually. Brand authority is the foundation for trust-based marketing. Because when you establish brand authority, you signal that your brand is a credible, trusted leader within its industry or specialty. It's the reputation that's built over time through consistent delivery of value, authentic communication, and demonstrated expertise. When a brand is viewed as an authority, it naturally attracts loyal customers, opportunities, and influence as people feel confident in its reliability and insights. That is why well-established or recognized brands can charge more for their products and usually produce them for cheaper, even if the quality or experience isn't quite as premier. Think Starbucks versus a ma and pa coffee shop when you're traveling. You're likely to pop into Starbucks because you know ahead of time what a Starbucks coffee is going to taste like. You trust it. In a crowded marketplace and a contracting economy, brand authority is crucial because it differentiates you amid intense competition. So rather than relying solely on flashy marketing or price wars, heaven forbid, authoritative brands stand out by being recognized for their proven expertise, integrity, and thought leadership. This trust amplifies customer loyalty and allows your brand to charge premium prices, influence industry conversations, and sustain long-term growth despite noise and saturation. Ultimately, building brand authority transforms your business into a go-to resource, earning respect and influence that money can't buy. I like to think of brand authority as a lighthouse versus a loudspeaker. When you have strong authority, you're like a lighthouse where people are naturally drawn to the light, guiding them to your safe harbor. They seek you out because they trust you. Without that authority, you're like a loudspeaker trying to shout in the dark. You have to keep pushing your message out and chase after attention, hoping to be heard above all of the other noise out there. The lighthouse attracts without effort, while the loudspeaker pushes out the same certainty. So I think of pulling versus pushing, magnetizing. But the beautiful thing is you don't have to be Starbucks to attract a high-paying consumer. You just have to become intentional about building a business that reflects your authenticity and expertly communicates the value of doing business with you. So in this episode, I want to talk about 5 steps to take to build brand authority in your business. Step number 1, is to return to the root of authority, or in other words, who the heck are you? I remember working with a practice back in my device sales days who asked me to come in to do an analysis of their digital marketing and give some suggestions of what they could do to improve their conversions for their device treatment sales. So I sat down with the owner and practice manager and I asked them to explain what the experience was like when a patient came to them for a laser treatment. And I asked this open-ended question for a reason. I wanted to hear what they felt made their business special. And they answered, oh my gosh, Kaylee, it's incredible. We do a full comprehensive Visia analysis prior to the treatment. We have a 10-page educational ebook that explains to the patient their skin type, walks them through an educational process of understanding their skin, what to expect throughout the treatment series, what kind of results they can expect, how to care for their skin post-treatment. And then the day of the treatment, they walk into a very Zen experience. The room is dimly lit to allow them to relax. They're given a lavender aromatherapy diffuser with soft music while they're numbing. Our esthetician gives them a hand and foot massage, and we put a warm mask on their hands and feet. Our patients love it. My jaw was dropped open, right? I was like, oh my gosh, sign me up, please. So I couldn't really understand how they're having trouble converting. This just sounds like such an incredible, full-blown experience. I was like, okay, let's look at your social media. So they pulled up their Instagram, and guess what was there? It was a reel of them dancing around the device, a promotional Canva graphic with a discounted price, and an invitation to an event. No expression or visibility around the actual educational components or the experience that they're providing in the treatment room whatsoever. I had concerns about this for several reasons, but primarily the disconnect on how they're communicating the value of their brand versus what they're actually delivering. You see, the marketing content didn't showcase any of the diamonds that they shared with me during our conversation. Instead, it actually commoditized and undervalued their uniqueness by selling the what versus the special experience that clients would receive when they came to them. And more importantly, they were attracting target buyers into a Neiman Marcus experience. And this disconnect not only attracts the wrong kind of discount-driven buyer, it actually compromises trust. And this happens in the inverse as well, building a sexy, expensive website and then cutting costs on the brand experience in the actual practice. We all know, that fancy restaurant you've been dying to go to, and then you finally show up and they totally bomb the service and leave you sitting unsatisfied and in disappointment because you had such high expectations. So we want to start with getting really clear on your values, what you stand for, what you want to be known for. This is going to guide the standards of excellence that you uphold for your brand. If you want to be the best at something, are you actually investing in the things that it takes to become the best? See, trust is built through the consistent expression of your values, actually being who you say you are. This leads us into step number 2. Step 2 is to give voice to what sets you apart. So once you've clearly defined who you are and what you stand for, it's time to communicate this with conviction. The best way to build trust with your ideal clients is to help them understand the gap that's missing and how your brand can help fill that gap. We communicate this through signature storytelling. More than likely, you didn't just build your business because you thought it sounded like something fun to do. You felt convicted and a mission to do something different, do something better, to create a solution for something that you saw was missing. What is that? Tell that story. Using personal stories and lived experiences deepens your authority as a business founder because they actually humanize your brand and demonstrate authenticity. When you share your journey, challenges you've overcome, lessons you've learned, or moments of vulnerability, you're not just talking about your expertise. You're showing your audience that you've truly walked the walk. And this kind of transparency builds trust as people see the real person behind the brand and relate to your authenticity. Personal stories highlight your unique perspective and values and distinguishes you from your competitors who may only offer polished, surface-level messages. Ultimately, your lived experiences serve as powerful proof of your credibility and help position you as a genuine, relatable leader in your industry. A powerful example of this is one of our signature story clients, Raquel Frizella. She has her own journey into developing her brand authority. And let me tell you, it is grounded in her own deeply personal experience. She talks about after developing severe melasma following the birth of her first son, she felt her confidence and sense of self diminish. And that's despite being a highly skilled clinician with over 15 years of experience. And can you imagine how vulnerable she felt? Like she's the expert, right? And now all of a sudden she's showing up with melasma. So she decided, I'm not going to hide my struggle. Raquel leaned into it, using her adversity as a catalyst for change. She immersed herself in science. She did the research and she invested in relentless trial and error to heal her own skin and ultimately turned her personal challenge into a source of strength and purpose. Her story of resilience and transformation became the emotional foundation of her brand, allowing her to communicate with compassion and authority. Raquel's lived experience transcended her clinical expertise. It became a powerful testament to her belief that true transformation begins from within. And that skincare, it became a powerful testament to her belief that true transformation begins from within. And that skincare is a journey to reclaim confidence, making her brand not just about the products, but about real accessible change. Her product line, RFA Skincare, provides results for all. Even hardworking moms wearing a million hats, they too deserve to have great skin and feel amazing in it. Can you appreciate the distinction between buy my skincare with the best ingredients on the market versus, hey, I've been in your shoes. Let me come alongside you to help you achieve your goals. Speaking to your story is the most impactful way to position yourself as that beacon of light, that lighthouse for the clients that you serve. Hey, leader. I know the journey to building your greatest potential can feel overwhelming. You're setting big goals, navigating resistance, and trying to stay true to who you are in the process. That's exactly why I created the Fierce Factor Society. This isn't just another membership, it's a launch pad where ambitious women like us come together to grow, lead, and thrive. It's a space to take those big dreams and make them real, step by step, with the support and tools you need to succeed. If you've ever felt like you were made for more but didn't know exactly which step to take next, the Society is your space to access the tools, strategies, and support to unlock your next level of leadership. Let's do this together. Visit klcconsultants.com/Fierce Factor Society to learn more. Can't wait to see you there. Step number 3, shape the unique message only you can deliver. So this is where the mechanics of content marketing come into play. Trustworthy brands who build authority are so clear and consistent in their messaging that it's obvious who they are, who they serve, and how they provide value. You could almost anticipate the next product or service from that brand because you know how they innovate. Think of Apple. If Apple made a couch, what would it be like? It would be high quality, innovative, super easy and simple as the user experience. It would be high tech, highly secure, probably sleek and reliable, because all of Apple's products emphasize design excellence and seamless ecosystem integration. They have proactive customer support, dedication to quality control, and they always stay true to their brand promise of innovation and simplicity, which only further solidifies consumer trust. So overall, Apple's unwavering focus on delivering value and protecting their users' interests has established a loyal, trusting customer base. Doesn't really matter what product they came out with. In fact, I believe most Apple customers are very loyal to Apple. I know in my household, we have Macs and iPads and iPhones everywhere. So in your messaging, you want to be as clear as possible in delivering your consistent message of that promise you make to your customers. Use language very intentionally, shifting from generic to emotionally resonant, and develop a clear, authentic message that aligns with your core values. Step number 4, it's time to overcome mindset barriers. And this right here is where the magic of coaching comes into play. I work with so many founders who struggle with quote unquote, putting themselves out there because of internal mental roadblocks that they aren't addressing. Some of the common ones, discomfort with judgment. What will people say? A fear of visibility. I'm afraid if I start showing myself, my true self to people, they will judge me, or I might feel my own imposter syndrome. Over familiarity with your own ideas. You've heard me use the phrase, you can't see the label from inside the bottle. Sometimes you're just too close to it to identify or call out your own magic. So here's what to do instead and how coaching can help you uncover your unique perspective. Embrace stillness and trust your voice. Stand firm in your convictions and accept vulnerability as a part of brand leadership. So many women I work with let their perfectionism stop them from exposing all the most authentic parts of themselves. And I've been there. I used to make videos and never post them because I had a lazy eye or a crooked smile, when in reality, it's those imperfections that humanize and personalize my authentic message. And authenticity is the through line to brand authority. Finally, step number 5, develop a visibility strategy. Now is where the fun begins. It's time to show up and shine. Get film days on the calendar, set up some Instagram lives, make some fun stories, show up and just be you. Get the support of your team to drive the message home. I recommend putting together a brand guide that includes all the visual elements of your branding and also the messaging talk tracks that every single team member can use in daily interactions to ensure consistency in your messaging. So you might create like a list of isms, phrases you say consistently that signify the personality of your brand. A great example of this is In-N-Out Burger's guest service communication tracks. My sister is a manager there, and she shared a few with me. So these are their internal ways of communicating. For example, every guest is greeted with, "Hi, how are you today?" Another one is their right on mentality, meaning when an employee is asked to do something, they're expected to respond right on. When exchanging money with a customer, they're always using please and thank you. The total will be $40, please. And when they accept the money, they say, "Thank you very much." These are internal guidelines that impact the consumer experience that have nothing to do with colors or logos. Because see, a brand isn't what you say, it's who you are. It's the outside matching the inside. So I might challenge you this week to think about this. Does your outside match your inside? Are the brand isms being carried out consistently by your team? Does your digital footprint effectively communicate the unique value of your brand? So many founders come to me feeling like the brand they built originally doesn't align with who they are now, how they believe now, and who they want to be known as today. It might be time for a brand authority refresh. I once heard someone say, "Real brands don't go viral. They go unnoticed until they are undeniable." One of the most powerful business growth shifts you can make in this new era as a founder in aesthetics and wellness is learning how to own your voice, not just your content, not just your digital footprint, not just your fonts and logos and labels, but who you are and what you stand for as a founder. For over a decade, I've worked with the top 1% leaders in aesthetics and wellness to build brands that reflect the depth of who they are and position them for sustainable visibility. And the crazy thing about brand authority is that it's driven through authenticity and consistency by showing up as the fullest expression of yourself. Think the story behind the brand. And that's exactly why I wrote the brand new Brand Authority Playbook, and I'm sharing it with you for a limited time for free. Inside, I'll be guiding you through the same reflection process that we use with our highest level clients to help them clarify what they truly want to be known for and start to communicate and magnetize trust from that place. In this next era, branding that pops is going to be rooted in your ability to build your authority as the go-to trusted expert in your market. So you can download the playbook today at klcconsulting.com/brand playbook. Okay, leader, thank you for tuning in today. Go download that playbook, and I can't wait to see what you build. I'll chat with you same place, same time next week. Listen, leader, if you're vibing with me here, hang tight because I have a brand new resource for you. You are a successful, confident, powerful woman who just isn't into being average. No, you have a calling, and part of that calling is requiring you to level up. And I know that if you're working across the next $1 million milestone in your business, you need to be in the right circles. And perhaps that's why you found us. I'd love to invite you to join The Blueprint, a weekly resource for inspired, provocative thinkers who are taking this conversation to the next level. Get access to free business tools, podcast supplements, guideposts, and direct communication with me and my expert team. And of course, a masterfully curated circle of women making big moves and disrupting the status quo in aesthetics and wellness. You can link directly through the show notes or head to klcconsultants.com/blueprint. It's time to elevate. See you there, goddess.